Good morning, everyone, and full moon blessings. I have my tarot and angel cards out so we can do a full moon reading. I already did a short today. I've been doing them daily underneath my YouTube channel, so if you're not subscribed, please take the time to subscribe. And please also send my puppy some good energy today if you can. He's going in for some surgery, and I would love it if you could just send him good vibes. We just need that right now. So, with the energy of this full moon, first of all, from what I know, it's in Gemini. And so for people that aren't familiarized with full moons happen once a month. I actually know someone who thought there was one every 10 years. I believe this is a true story. So I like to let people know that it's once every month. And so we go through the lunar cycles. And so we also have a full moon and a new moon typically in 1 month. However, every now and again we'll have 2 full moons within a month as well. Sometimes that just happens in terms of how the cycles go. All right. Often when we see that, there's a super moon, which is usually closer to the earth, and it's more charged because we can feel it more intensely. However, and I just feel like sharing too that we go through eclipse season as well, and the energy is more intense around that time, usually in terms of change. So if you're hopping on live currently and you would like a full moon card pull, I'm going to be pulling up some cards for anyone hopping on as well. So just say yes and I'll pull you up a card. But when it comes to Gemini specifically, the energy of the full moon it always affects us in terms of there's something that we need to release and let go of. And by acknowledging what that is, could just be one thing, it's really important to identify. So if you choose to do a full moon ritual, I offer those for my members in my membership group. If you're a VIP, then monthly, every time there's a full moon. So today you'll be getting a recording of theta healing downloads in relation to things that you might have going on. So I tune into the energy of the group and I clear the energy. And then also based on this specific full moon. And then what I'll do is most times I will guide you through a writing ritual. However, I do it a little bit differently every time. My recommendation is to do a writing ritual around a full moon. And if you want to check out how to do one of those specifically on your own time, you can go underneath my YouTube playlist, Rituals and Practices. You'll see my full moon ritual there. And just follow along, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're letting go of an aspect of ourself. Often we'll call this shadow work, and it's a reflection of perhaps things that have happened to you over the month. But if you've never done it before, it might be over your whole life or anything really. So if you do full moon rituals on a regular basis, then it's going to be typically over the last month, anything new that's come up, because you probably have been letting go of lots of stuff from month to month, okay? The other thing is when I was just talking about the because everybody's a little bit different who's watching this. I do have some new people. I'm now a different business name, so I'm Robin Horseman Readings, and I was Robin's Healing. So if you identify with me through Robin's Healing, this is Robin Horseman Readings now. So I had some glitches in my Facebook, which also led into my Instagram. And now I'm on TikTok as well, so that's great. And then I'm just transferring over to using my YouTube platform because I've been wanting to grow that for years. I was just looking back at some other videos and like how I was doing things. So I've been doing this for quite some time, and so I'm really looking forward to shifting over to that platform as well. I'm currently using Facebook, so that's where you will often see me do a fair amount of like card pulls and readings in topics, but I will be doing specific card pulls where I'm not discussing a specific topic underneath my YouTube channel. So if you're not subscribed, please make sure you take the time. I really appreciate it, not just because it's helpful for me, but it's also helpful for you if you like these things, okay? So if this is not your thing, I'm really directing my energy right now to quality over quantity. So although I'm saying I'm looking for, followers, subscribers, things like that, I know that's important to reach more people. It's also really important for me that the right people are also working with me. So if you feel called towards getting a reading, you can go to robinshealing.com. I'm still using my old website until I change that. So for now, I just know that most people can find me through my website. I've been doing a lot of public things lately, so I've been advertising all my Robin's Healing, so I still want to make sure that people can at least find me through that site. Feel free to, if you are a client or someone who desires more readings, you can also share these out with friends. You can check out my Instagram as well. And I highly recommend joining my email list because that's kind of the first place I go to when I do any type of promotions and things as well. Okay, that feels significant there. I wasn't sure if I wanted to bother with the full moon reading this month because, again, I have people who pay in my membership group, for full moon stuff and new moon stuff. And what I mean by stuff is those rituals. However, I do feel like it's significant for people to understand the energy of the full moon because we're all affected by it. And so the healings and the clearings is what you'll be getting in the membership group. But for now, I like to educate you guys on what's going on. So based on your astrological sign, if you're an Aries, if you're a Leo, whatever sign you are, each month when we have a full moon, it's connected to an astrological sign. So it depends on where the stars and planets are. So for instance, because we have a Gemini full moon, that's going to have its own theme to it, right? So it's going to affect all of us in a similar way. And that's kind of why I'm doing this reading. So you can see the themes in the full moon. It's not just it's just another full moon. As I was saying, it might be a super moon. It might be a lunar eclipse, etc. So the more we can learn about this, the more helpful it will be, because if I do these in advance, which I didn't at this moment, but you can get a better understanding of how to prepare yourself for this energy. If you've been working with me for a while, then you're probably already somewhat prepared and aware. I also have a blog through robinshealing.com where I do, I have different kind of topics and healings and things in there too, so you can check that out. Highly recommend just scroll through my playlist as well. There's additional healings in there. Underneath my website, there's even a free program in there, so yeah, can't go wrong. All right, so so Gemini in general, what we know about Gemini as a theme is they are an air sign, okay? So if you have air in your astrology, which everybody kind of does to a certain extent, but if that's your sun sign, or your moon sign, or your rising sign, then it's going to feel stronger for you than it is for, say, somebody like me who's in a fire energy. However, it's going to determine things as well based on how often you do this and how much stuff you have going on, how sensitive you are. Sometimes we say moon sensitive. When we look at our moon signs as well, hello, if you would like a card, let me know. I'm just pulling up some full moon cards for people as well. And feel free to say hello as well. I see someone hopping on. Anyway, I'm getting distracted now. It's still a little early for me. So basically, Gemini is an air sign, and air. I'm trying to think what I was just saying. I was saying that I'm an Aries and I'm a fire sign. Oh, it was sorry. The moon. Your moon sign is how you connect to energy emotionally. So Yeah, so if, like, so for instance, I'm a Cancer, so that's a water sign, that would be, like, because it's an emotional sign and it's my moon sign, how I relate to emotions, then if this were a Cancer energy, then I would be feeling that really intensely. So for instance, if your moon sign, how you connect to emotions, because when there's a full moon, basically we're all made up of almost all of water, and so just like the full moon affects the tides, it affects us as well, right? So we're going through this cleansing cycle, essentially, is what I'm saying. So when you know your moon sign and how you connect emotionally to energy, then it's really helpful. Okay, so that's something you can also look up. So if you were a Gemini moon sign, and then this full moon is in the Gemini energy, then you would be feeling that more intensely. Not just how you're releasing energy emotionally, but because Gemini is an air sign, they're thinkers. So you might find that you're doing more thinking, and that's what you want to be releasing, just as an example. Geminis constantly need to be stimulated and using their brain. So this is also an energy in general for everybody, where if you're not occupying your time in healthy ways, you're not keeping your mind in a healthy place, then you're going to be finding that, yeah, like that you need to release things around productivity, like feeling like you're procrastinating, feeling like you're analyzing. And some bird just like smashed into my window, which it never does on that side. So yeah, so how you're feeling emotionally at this time, just in general, release that. But again, the more you know your sign, the better. When we have our sun sign, that's the sign that you probably know. For instance, like, I'm an Aries when I was actually born in April, right? So my sun sign is who I am when I'm by myself. So I'm more creative, for instance, when I'm alone. I already saying my moon sign is Cancer, so I'm very emotional, very like sensitive, and that's probably why I'm a healer. I'm a Scorpio when it comes to my my rising sign or my ascending sign, and that's also another water sign, which they're also very like feminine and can be psychic and things like that. So when I'm around other people, it actually brings out my psychic energy, because I really feel into others' energies. Okay, so these seem like small things, but I could even relate all of that to this full moon in terms of maybe I'm working on, as I was saying, being more selective, and this might relate to you, with who I'm bringing into my life, how I'm living my life. I just said that I changed my business name, and I'm looking for quality, like people, when I'm having my exchanges, when I'm offering things to others. I want that back in return of that like that kindness and that love and that support, right? So, Ace of Cups, love, okay? So this is our first card. So we know that Geminis are thinkers. We know that they need to stay stimulated. We know that they like to, educate themselves, things like that. So they're still learning, though, as I was saying, how to use that mind in a healthy way. So Ace of Cups says that there's a new beginning in terms of your relationships at this time, okay? So you might be finding around this full moon that you're really excited about something new. I already mentioned that in my short today, too, that there's like really strong new beginnings. And so if I look at, for myself, even just like a new beginning, like relationship wise, I feel like my husband and I have only been married now for like just over 5 months, but it feels like there's like this beautiful like open-hearted relationship that we're exploring right now. So what I would be doing around this full moon, which is oddly enough I've already done this work, I would be like releasing anything like that I'm worrying about in relation to like my marriage and my hurt and like any fears that I have. So again, if you want a theta healing session, Those are only 111. Those are 1 hour, so you get tons of time to clear and release energy with me as well, which I also have an appointment with myself this morning. Well, with another healer, but I have for myself, which is perfect underneath this full moon, as I was saying, like what's arising, so I can pull up my own cards and based on that, like get that person to help and support me with that, okay? Which is what I do in my membership group too. So as a theme, look into where you are like starting new in terms of emotions, in terms of energy, and then clear anything that's holding you back from that, okay? Or write that down. 7 of Swords, theft. Okay, so when we see 7, this is telling us that we need to rest a bit more. Around full moons, we definitely need to lower our energy. And what I mean by lower our energy, it's just like allow ourselves to ground, allow ourselves to like sleep and rest, things like that. So if you're hopping on, there's no coincidence that you're hopping on at that time. If you'd like a card, let me know, just say yes. And then when we have Swords, as I was saying, this is an air card and we're working with Gemini energy. So this is also saying to rest the mind. So thinking about ways that we can allow the mind to relax, often we will do some form of meditation. So around this time, maybe you could find a full moon meditation. I have some of those underneath my meditations through my YouTube. The Lovers, commitment. Okay, again, decisions. We're talking about love, talking about relationships. Sometimes we have a hard time sorting energy out mentally, as I was saying, because we haven't learned all the things that we need to learn yet. So this full moon is might be a time to let go of like just again emotional blocks, what's going on in your heart chakra, because it's like you're not allowing more room for you to grow, to learn. Maybe it's to date if you're single, right? So let go of those exes. Energetically divorce from people, right? That's what I do in my sessions. As I was saying, if you have a 1 hour session, we do some clearings and energy that way, but there's almost always stuff in there like that. So Michelle's asking for a card, no problem. So you have the upside down Temperance card here, Angel of Peace. And so thanks so much for taking the time to like this page as well, and also subscribe to my YouTube channel. It's really appreciative. So I feel like a little bit of a heaviness in my chest, although this is a really positive card. So this is talking about new beginnings, as we were just kind of talking about. Pay attention to what your new beginning is at this time. I was just saying I'm attracting, I have a new business name, and I'm attracting like new quality people into my life. So I'm also releasing those who weren't aligned with me, right? So that might relate to you. It's really about, depending on what your new start is, it could be like new financial abundance, things like that. It's like, okay, this is a time to, again, dump my cup, anything that's drained me in the past, anything that made me feel like someone was taking from me, took advantage of me, took me for granted. Explore that a bit, and then I would jot some of those things down for your full moon release. Again, underneath my playlist, you can check out my full moon ritual if you don't have a guideline, or you can join my membership group and follow along with us today. So determination, this is a new card for everybody. 9 is again a manifestation card. This is like a wish card. However, it's talking about any creative blocks that we have. So it's like, I want to be more creative. I want to be more artistic. I want to manifest more. But I'm not really truly believing that that's possible for me. So again, this is a great time to let go of any wounds that you have if you're a healer, anything that's happened to you along the way. Again, it could be emotional stress. It could be emotional drain from other people. That feels important to acknowledge. Again, this is based on our groups of people that are going to be watching later too. 7 of Pentacles. This is really talking about balancing our energy in general. So keep in mind, we can be overactive or underactive. So it's not just about draining. It could be like, I'm too excited about these things. I'm too overstimulated. And again, I feel like technology or people have something to do with this. As I was talking about, like new social media for me, kind of clearing out people, that sort of thing. And it feels like if you've been overly charged, or again, if somebody took advantage of you, it just feels like, you know, being too over the top can also be a downfall too. So again, we're releasing aspects of our personality as well that's no longer serving us. So if you used to like get motivated off of like being hyper, maybe it's time to just focus on the balance, right? Like cool and calm and still enthusiastic and passionate. I'm sorry to cut you off. I'm wondering if you do one-on-one readings. I do. So I do 15-minute and 30-minute readings. And then I also do my 1-hour theta healing sessions. But in all of my readings, I'm still offering healing that comes through in those sessions. So you can, you can book anytime. You can also go through robinshealing.com if you want to book online that way, or you can just reach out to me, no problem. Okay, so 3 of Swords, heartache. So this is talking about pain as well, any suffering that you've experienced. It's perfect time to release that. But I'm also feeling like this is still related to prosperity. So if you're really bringing in, no problem, Michelle, if you're really bringing in health and wealth, then it's time to let go of any sickness or pain that you've either caused yourself, other people have caused you, or any, again, imbalances in your physical body. So if you're not feeling 100% physically or emotionally, then of course you're gonna feel like kind of lethargic and slow moving, and then that could hinder your motivation or your blood flow, or you physically moving your body. So I can't help but feel like it's a great time to go outside, or where Christmas is coming up. This is our full moon before Christmas, which is great because often, not often, but recently we've been having full moons right around Christmas, almost like to the day. And it's been really intense with families and stuff like that. You know, when you're connecting with distant family, maybe you don't communicate with those people as often, or it's just like everybody's already tired because they're doing a lot of like crafting or traveling or exploring or whatever. So it's really great that we're able to clear this energy out now. And then in a couple weeks time, closer to Christmas, we'll actually have that new moon coming in, which is all about like, again, I'm just getting forgiveness. Like, so it's like we're more likely to almost like let go when the new moon comes up. And right now it just feels like understanding what it is that you're ready to let go of, if that makes sense. So we're just preparing ourselves. So 4 of Wands, freedom. Not surprised this card is coming up. This is really about opening up to new ways of living, lifestyle stuff. As I was talking about technology, for me, like I'm learning how to use technology in new ways, using different platforms, and just like being more open and aware to how I want to work and what suits me best. So you might be finding like that your self-care is extra important at this time. You almost have to put yourself first. You almost have to take care of yourself. And it's really about balancing your left and your right side of your brain as well, because this is not a time to be super logical. It's a time to really tap into your heart space, that healing light, and things that you are desiring right now. So last card, we have restriction. This is talking about, again, emotional blocks. You might be a little sensitive around this time. There could be things that you're sensitive towards that you don't even know that you're sensitive towards. So it's a really great time to do deep dive work. So it's really exploring the underworld, which essentially just means going into like dream state, getting theta healing, focusing more on dream interpretation. It could be learning and reading books because of this Gemini energy. It's wanting to explore your mental health, your physical health, etc., etc. So those are our messages. I just feel like the key component here is the balancing. It feels like it's so important to, like if you want to be more clairvoyant, or if you want to have more premonitions, you want to do some more of the type of work that I'm doing, it's really about like releasing energy in your throat chakra, things that you've suppressed as well. So that would be like old sticky energy, old stagnant energy. Like, what are some things that you used to do that you don't do anymore, right? You might think, oh, well, I'm over that, but the energy of it is not fully released. So there's an allowing that's really coming in at this time. And so allow yourself to explore this new energy. Allow yourself to explore the Ho'oponopono prayers I was sharing in my reading today on YouTube, because it feels like you're preparing yourself for something beautiful. This new moon that's going to be coming in, I just can't help but feel like there's going to be a lot of abundance work that's needed around for that new moon coming in. So if you're like, yeah, I want to manifest money, the feelings of that money brings us, which is like feeling like we can kind of do anything that we want to, that we're capable of doing anything that we want to do. Confidence is probably going to play a role for you. Then it's like identifying with that new moon now, and then that's what you want to be releasing. So if you have like money blocks, this is a great time to work on that too. And again, those are things that I can help you with. So go to robinshealing.com, book online, or reach out. And I hope you have a wonderful full moon. Any questions, feel free to also reach out or just comment here. Bye for now.